Matt, good to be with you here. So before we dive into some of the wins you had, some of the travel you've taken with your family, just tell everyone a little bit about just who you are, your business, where you live, a little bit of background about you.
Yeah, thanks, Eli. Matt Gardner, live in Scottsdale, Arizona, fifth generation native of Arizona. Entrepreneur by trade, graduated ASU International Business, minor in marketing, and I have an insurance agency, right? So I used to joke with my friends, it was baseball player, firefighter, police officer, or insurance guy, and my dreams came true. So
Nice.
I own and operate a small insurance agency. My wife owns a Pilates studio, and we've invested in some other businesses.
Nice. Awesome. And so just let's dive right into it. So this past summer, you took your family over to Europe. Just talk a little bit about the experience of the trip itself, and then we'll get into kind of how the points came into play and how we helped you out.
Yeah, so super special. So part of being in the insurance space is I qualified for an incentive trip that was 3 days in the Amalfi Coast. I reached out to you and your team and said, hey, I have this opportunity to, go pretty far. What can we do to take the family? And we spent 2 weeks in Europe. And it was probably, if not the best trip we've ever taken as a family, in the top two or three. Super special. So when I first reached out, I was nervous about flights, and you said, Matt, just be patient. We got this all figured out. And I'm like, Eli, I'm taking my wife and kids. This is not just me. So I trusted the process, and you guys absolutely hit it out of the park.
Awesome. And yeah, I love to hear it. And that's, the first time you're using points, especially for an international trip, it can feel like kind of a lot. But it was funny because I think the day you guys were flying, I got a text from you and it was your son. You're like, he's living the good life at 13. Like, look at this little dude. So just tell me a little bit about how did your family receive it? How did your wife receive it? Flying business class overseas. Obviously for you, you got the feeling, the satisfaction of being able to provide that without having the outrageous cost that would normally cost in cash. But how did it land for the family?
That was super special, right? It's it was like high speed internet, right? Once you go from dial up to high speed internet, and you go from just a regular seat to lay down pods and amenities and a menu. Like my kids looked over and they're like, "Do like we get to order from this?" I'm like, "Yeah," and it was special,
Nice.
and being able to send you that picture of them with their headphones on and they're drinking their fancy lemonade or whatever it was. I mean, it's part of the experience. You're going on a great trip. And I remember, when my wife and I had just gotten married, we did a long trip to Europe and, sitting in, I don't even know if it's last class, but it was brutal for, you watch like 10 videos and you're halfway there, where this is like, it's part of the experience.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't agree more. I mean, like you said, once you go up, now you've ruined your kid's standards for the rest of your life, but we'll worry about that later. And so to flip the kind of the other side of the equation, right? There's the earning of the points. And so, we were just having a conversation about now the next trips that you may take with your family, maybe Costa Rica, Hawaii, Greek islands. We're now, opening up the world is kind of our playground here with points. But in order to do that, we have to get the right points from the right card. So it looks like you're doing some stuff with your business spend. We helped optimize. Now you've got a big landscaping project. So just talk a little about some of the card optimization side and how that shifted for you guys too.
Yeah, so I was actually raised in a family that my mom taught me at a young age. Hey, if you can't afford to pay cash for something, you probably shouldn't do it. And fast forward today, after meeting you, I think I have more credit cards than most consumers. But as you told me early on, Matt, every single card has a purpose, and some of them are just to get you upgrades. Some are to maximize points. And I think really what you guys do differently than anybody else is, number one, strategizing on either business spend, personal spend, and really getting your points to rack up. I mean, we spend a fair amount as business owners to rack up over 1 million points in a 6-month period of time. That then parlays, I think, into the second thing that you guys do that's amazing. And this is the part that I was a little leery at first, but full drinking the Kool-Aid, and I think I've sent you 10 or 15 of my friends. But maximizing the points is one part of the strategy, but then utilizing those points at a discounted rate. I think we flew business class from Phoenix to Paris on the direct flight right before the Olympics for like 180,000 points and $600 cash. And then you got us back from Europe. We went from Naples to Switzerland back. And because we were flexible, I think it was like 200,000 points and $800. So for less than $2,000 in cash and less than $500,000 in points, When I did the math and calculating it, it probably would have cost me 25,000 in cash or millions of points, not knowing how to utilize your system. So, like I said, not only are we clients, we've become friends now, and it's been pretty special.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. One of the things that I've really loved about your approach to this, we can help with the strategy, but the other piece that has to be there is the desire to go live these incredible experiences and create the memories with your family and with your kids or with your spouse. And I think you've just from an outside lens, seeing how you operate with your family and your business, it's been really cool to watch how you prioritize these experiences and creating these memories. So, I guess last note, yeah, just I would love to hear any words of wisdom for other up and coming, let's say, parents with young kids and or dads that have kids and the importance of creating these memories while you can. I'm curious to hear any takes on that before we wrap.
Yeah, totally. Fast forward now to my business. So the first thing that goes into my business plan every year is 8 vacations a year. How do I take my family on 8 vacations, and then we reverse engineer how we're going to do it, right? Through scheduling the time off, business acquisition, and business development to get us to that situation. So I honestly, I think as a business owner, I know a lot of very successful people. And when I say successful, I think you can define that a lot of different ways. There's a lot of very wealthy people that have miserable lives because they work their tail off. They're always accumulating, and they're really not, enjoying the fruits of their labor. And I'm not saying go spend everything and do things crazy either. You got to live within your means. But for me, truly, with my family, is how do we create memories with the kids that they're going to have forever? And really, your program helps us do that. So to be able to maximize those points and take them on vacations and just to put dream boards together. You and I were just talking about, the Greek islands or Bora Bora and these things as a young professional, you're like, I could never pull this off. And now you're like, this is a reality. And how do we just figure out the time to go do it?
So cool, man. Truly appreciate it, Matt. Thank you so much. It's been awesome getting to spend time with you, getting to know you, and getting to work together and looking to create many more trips in the future. So thanks again.
You got it, brother.
Boom. Cool. So we'll clip that up, dude. I really